My Ghostwriter presents Leela's Magical Garden Adventure, Book 1. Leela's Magical Garden Adventure, Chapter 1. Chapter 1, The Sparkling Door. In the sunny town of Blossomville, there lived a little girl named Leela. Leela loved her garden very much. Every morning, she put on her shiny yellow boots and big red hat to play in the garden. The flowers always danced happily when she watered them. One sunny morning, while picking bright white daisies, Leela found something incredible, a tiny, sparkling door under a big green leaf. The door shimmered just like the stars in the night sky. Leela was very curious. She knelt down and gently opened the door. To her surprise, a friendly little gnome named Gus popped out. Gus wore bright blue overalls and had a fluffy white beard. He smiled widely and said, "Hello, Lila. Would you like to come on a magical adventure?" Leela's eyes sparkled with excitement, and she nodded quickly. Together, they stepped through the sparkling door and entered a magical world. Lila gasped in awe. There were rainbow-colored trees everywhere. Rivers flowed with bubbly lemonade, and soft clouds drizzled sweet, yummy gumdrops. Big, friendly ladybugs waved hello, and butterflies giggled as they danced in the sky. Lila felt like she was in a beautiful dream. As they walked along, a cheerful bee named Benny the Brave Bee flew by to join their adventure. Benny had tiny, twinkling wings and buzzed happily. "Buzz, buzz, let's find some fun," Benny cheered, making Leela giggle joyfully. But soon, kind Gus explained their mission. "The giggle bushes have stopped laughing," Gus said with a concerned look. "And that makes everyone sad. We need to help them find their giggles again." Leela, Gus, and Benny knew they had to help the giggle bushes. They were ready for this magical adventure. With smiles on their faces and happiness in their hearts, they began their quest. What magical surprises and new friends would they find along the way? Lila couldn't wait to discover them all. Chapter 2, The Search for Giggles. With Benny the Brave Bee buzzing happily in front, Leela and Gus followed the path to find the lost giggles. The magical world was full of colors and fun, making Leela giggle as they walked. They soon met Auntie Hoot, a wise old owl with big, kind eyes. She spread her wings wide and gave each of them a warm hug. "Hello, my dear friends," Auntie Hoot said softly. "Listen closely to the wind. It might lead you to the giggles." Leela listened carefully. The breeze made a soft whooshing sound like a whisper inviting them to follow. So, with Gus by her side and Benny buzzing near her head, they continued their quest. Along their path, a squirrel named Nutty appeared, twirling and bouncing with joy. He had the fluffiest tail Lila had ever seen. "Hello," Nutty called, doing a little jig. "Let's dance to find those giggles." Lila clapped her hands with delight, and together they danced across the path. They twirled past lemonade rivers that bubbled and splashed with every step. The rainbow trees swayed along as if joining the dance too. As they danced, Leela laughed so much that her giggles floated up into the air. The happy sounds echoed all around, filling the magical place with joy. Suddenly, Benny the Bee buzzed with excitement. "Buzz, buzz, look what I found," he shouted. Benny pointed his tiny wing at something fluffy, a big, tickly feather lying under a giant gumdrop cloud. Lila's eyes lit up. She picked up the feather carefully and gave it a gentle shake. To her delight, giggles began to fly out, like tiny twinkling stars, heading straight back to the giggle bushes. "Yay!" Leela cheered. The bushes began to laugh again, and the whole forest filled with cheerful sounds. Everyone hugged each other in happiness, their smiles as bright as the sunshine. With the giggles finally back where they belonged, all the friends celebrated with a wiggly jig dance. Even Auntie Hoot joined in, flapping her wings joyfully. The whole forest seemed to dance too, with the trees swaying and the rivers sparkling. When it was time to head home, Lila hugged Gus tightly. "Thank you, Lila," Gus said with a big smile. "You're a true friend." Waving goodbye to all her magical friends, Lila felt her heart full of love and joy. She knew her garden held many secrets and adventures, just waiting to be discovered. Skipping back through the sparkling door, she was ready for whatever new adventures the next day might bring. And as she closed the tiny, dazzling door behind her, she knew that whenever she wore her shiny yellow boots, magic was never far away. Thank you for listening to My Ghostwriter.